Well, I'd say he was a good brother, for sure. He was a nice kid, quiet, I would say, but very, very funny. And he was just a natural number two to all the things we did as kids. I would do, we'd make like videos with G.I. Joes, or we'd put together like different like card games or board games. And he was always, I'd be the creative lead, and then he would take care of all the implementation.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Great sense of wit. Just really good sense of humor.
Even though it's been really hard for her, you know, she's staying positive, she's keeping through it. Myself, well, you know, of course it's been difficult. You know, it happened and it completely derailed my life, I would say. I had to drop a couple classes, had to take time off of school to do the funeral and everything. And, you know, it was hell. You know, I didn't want to do any of that.
Because I always feel, you know, you do feel a lot of regret afterwards, and that's what I want to tell the kids.
We were just talking about something, and then he said, you know, I'm gonna make it all up to you someday. I said, what do you mean? He says, I think I've been kind of a crappy brother to you over the years. I feel like a lot of times in our relationship, I've been taking, and you've been the one giving. And it's just, when it comes down to it, it's, you know, I feel like I still have a lot to give back to you, and I'll make it up, I swear. And I was like, dude, I don't even know where this is coming from. I was at the bar with my friends that night, and I was like, and you know, I was with it enough to say, you know, I don't know where this is coming from. Like, you know, you're a great brother, and I've never harbored anything bad towards you, you know. And he was like, oh, well, you know, it's good to hear you say that, but like, you know, I know what I did. And I was like, hey man, you know, honestly, and I really did say to him, I said, you know, it sucks now, but you're really in a transition phase. And I know that like 5 years down the road, you'll be in college, you'll be having a great time. Maybe 10, 15 years down the road, you'll be a great uncle to my kids, you know, and that's the kind of person I'm really excited. I've said, I am so excited to see the person you'll become. Well, I think it's been hardest on my dad. And I think that the reason is, you know, as far as sons go, I'm the oldest, but I kind of take after my mom. And he definitely took after my dad more. And when I went to college, Matt and my dad were very close. And he continued racing quarter midgets for a long time, and that is probably the bulk of my dad's memories with him. He got into bike riding just like my dad is, cycling, you know, riding around town and doing going fast and all kinds of things. I mean, that sounds really dumb, but my dad loves bicycling. And Matt liked to do that too. And he would spend time with him in the garage, hanging out, listening to NPR and stuff like that. They were both, you know, quiet, focused people, which was kind of nice. And I think that when my dad lost Matt, he lost one of his favorite people in the whole world, you know? And I think that it was really, really hard on him in that sense.
And his good experience, that was probably one of my best memories of being with Matt, was that whole weekend. We just worked together. It came out really well. He gained a lot of respect, and we had a lot of fun.
My mom, you know, she's a strong person. She has a lot of friends, and she's always been very talkative, and you know, she's already been through a lot of tough stuff in her life. I mean, she has MS, for God's sakes.
Every year, from kindergarten, or even preschool up, I made a cake for the first day of school. And so it was like a fun thing to do, and we did it together, and I'd come up with some kind of design, and then Joe would really be the one to kind of orchestrate how to make it. One year we made a guitar, because Matt was really into playing guitar, and senior year we made he was into computers, and we thought that's what he was going to do in college. So we made a
big circuit board.
Big circuit board.
With a microprocessor on it.
He was so funny. He looked forward to it, because even in high school he'd go, I know you're making me a cake, Mom. And I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. You're like too old for this now. You don't want a cake. But we'd always we'd orchestrate it and we'd do it, and he wouldn't even know we did it, and we'd hide it. And then we'd do it the first day of school. We'd bring this cake out at dinner, and he would always be like, wow, this is great. You know, this is really cool.
I made one was a locker a school bus, a school,
Yeah. Every
books,
year, a pencil one
a
year.
pencil, yeah.
Yeah.
belongs to
Every
Leroy.
year we
So
did something special. So he always expected it. He was like, "Yeah, you still have to do that," you know.
You know, I think he may have thought this is too much and it would just be easier to be gone, you know. And I'm not gonna say I haven't had those thoughts myself, but you know, I'm on medication for that. I turned around. And unfortunately, he didn't.